everyone. My name is Nekme Obasoge, and today I'm here with Mr. Daniel Obakozuwa, all the way from Benin City to discuss about Edo State politics as usual. And today we're going to be looking at Atiku Abubakar. He sent a message to the Edo people and also reflects on the rich cultural heritage of the Benin Kingdom. Hello, Mr. Daniel.
Hello, good day from Nigeria.
Thank you for joining us today. So,
Thank you very much.
like what we promised in the previous show that we're going to come back and discuss about Atiku Abubakar. The message is sent to the Edo people, specifically the Edo voters. Okay, so we're going to play the video while we come back and do the analysis of the video.
My name is Atiku Abubakar, and I support the good people of Edo State. Nigeria needs credible elections and vibrant electorates. I'm here to speak to the great people of Edo State. My dear Edolites, the Benis, Esakos, Essans, Owans, and Akoko Edos, the Igbira-speaking communities in Akoko Edo, the Ijoizons, the Urubos, and the Shekiri communities in Ovia Northeast and Southwest local government areas, especially in the borderlands. The Ekpaheri and Emai clans and the Ika-speaking communities in Ekbanke, Oyeovon, LGA. One of Nigeria's most reputable attributes are of the brave and indelible contributions of the Benin Kingdom to the world is their historically rich cultural artifacts, and above all, the peace and serenity that came with their civilization. That peace must not be forgotten or allowed to be tarnished by those who gain only from incurable incitements of rancor, hate, and violence. I believe in education as the moral and social upbringing of children to make them cultured and members of the society. Godwin Obaseki and Philip Shaibu launched the Edo Basic Education Transformation Program, an initiative to train and equip public school teachers with top-of-the-range expertise, skills for deploying information and communication technologies in classroom to improve learning. They have also pioneered a state-backed health insurance scheme to provide a robust sector that will attract private investors. They are also creating industries for youth employment. On September 19, 2020, the Edo people have a clear choice to vote for continuation of development as against godfatherism and all attempts to impose people. Most importantly, keeping the bond of peace and stability is not negotiable. I call on INEC to resist any pressure that undermines its neutrality, and the Nigeria police to safeguard and protect the people as they go out to vote. Finally, I call on the Edo people in all the 18 local government areas and 193 wards to come out en masse on the 19th of September 2020 and vote for Obaseki and Shaibu of the People's Democratic Party and ensure a sustainable future. PDP, power to the people. I am Atiku Abubakar and I endorse this message. Thank you. God bless you.
Well, I think it is a moral booster, that solidarity message from Atiku to the PDP and Obaseki.
Yes.
It shows that he has gotten the national support to go ahead with his campaign and his program of fighting godfatherism. And I also want to join Atiku to wish him well. And I also believe that he's going to win the election come September 19, 2020.
I love the way he recognized the Great Benin Kingdom, the rich cultural heritage, the civilization, the Benin Kingdom, the Great Benin Kingdom. I love that recognition. Thank you, Atiku Abubakar. Yeah, so
And that is what is making Edo State very unique. The presence of
our
the
monarch.
hometown of the Benin,
Mm,
where we actually have an Oba, is
yes,
making this state a very unique state.
yes. With the rich history of Benin Kingdom, the civilization, like the Benin people, we always refer to ourselves as the cradle of black civilization.
Black civilization.
So, the
Yeah.
older generation in Nigeria, they always recognize the Benin Kingdom and the history of the kingdom. Yeah. We are not teaching history to our younger generation, mostly in the school system, Mr. Danny. It's very imperative that we learn about the history of the past. They said knowing the past, we have to advance the
I,
present and the future. But in Nigeria, we are not teaching history.
I think the no,
Huh?
I think the curriculum is still there. History. I think the curriculum of history is still in our secondary schools. I'm not a teacher, so I will not know. During my time with history was there. We learned a lot about kingdoms, even cut across the northern kingdom, Queen Amina, the Obas, the Alafins, the Yoruba. Course, I believe they are still there because I know these were history taught in secondary schools, where a brief summary of every kingdom that have existed, even to Ashanti Kingdom, you know, I am very hopeful that I believe that curriculum of history is still within the secondary school, though I cannot authoritatively say it now because I'm not a teacher. It has always been there where you learn history about old ancient kingdoms that have long existed
Mm,
with their
yeah.
powers and warlike nature.
Mm, mm.
Uh,
But according to what people have been complaining about, that they are not teaching enough history in the school system, especially in the lower level, like primary school and secondary schools in the country.
that is what I can't say now because I know those days in social studies you get to meet empires. In primary school, you take it in primary 5 and 6, social studies, under social studies, where you take empires, Ashanti Empire to the essence of the Northern Empire, the Ekanami Empire. Then the secondary school is a full subject of its own history,
Mm,
you know. Whether it has been eroded from the system, I do not know. The only thing I know that were languages of Edo, which I believe they are now promoting now. In apart from French and English, Edo as a language was not being taught then in the secondary school. But a lot of people, I remember the honorable the House of Rep representative in Edo, Uredo representative, what is his name, Ugbedi Yama, has emphasized, has even bought a lot of equipment to aid in the teaching of Edo languages in secondary schools, competitions
yeah.
for secondary schools to participate. Whether the history has been rooted, I don't know, but I'm very sure that it's still there. I'm very sure.
Mm. But the Benin history in particular, we are looking at the
Mm.
Benin history, how rich it is. It's supposed to be there in the school curriculum.
It's there. It's there.
Is there?
That when I was in secondary school, that was my best subject. More especially when you talk of the Benin. Even in my tertiary institution, I had to take history as an elective so
Yes.
as to portray that Benin history. I can remember that I took permission to bring delegates of my school then
Mm.
to Oba's Palace to see the palace and Ogiame's Palace at that time. So the interest was very there,
The
was
Benin
still
history,
very there.
the
Yes.
Benin history is too interesting, honestly. Just too interesting. Yeah. So moving forward with our program today, Atiku Abubakar's message to the Edo people, the Edo voters. So how will this message impact this upcoming election?
Just as I said it's a moral booster for all PDP supporters and members. He has also, if you look at that speech, if you listen to it very well, he has also emphasized of fairness on the part of INEC, fairness on the part of the police and national securities that we have. And we do hope that this message will sink to their various ears and give peace a chance and let Edo people actually produce the winner. Whoever
So
win should be given with fear or no favor.
okay, are we expecting Atiku Abubakar to visit Edo State because of this election?
I don't really think so.
Okay, his presence is
The
not very
only thing
important.
I know that the way Atiku is going about, it shows that it's not that it's not important. The way he's going about sending solidarity message shows that he would have loved Edo to be PDP, and I can see in him the interest of becoming president of this country one day.
Mm. And yeah, I think in this next election, right?
Well, let's look how it goes. The crisis of the presidency is already dividing the APC as a
APC is not
party.
a,
It depends on who
APC
they
is
are
not
going
a
to
political party anymore in Nigeria.
It's a political party registered in Nigeria. So the crisis is dividing them now, causing confusion and fashion among them. And if Atiku, in one voice, is giving that of PDP, I see him winning because I've always said that there's a northern agenda which keeps the North united in terms of headship of this country. Uh, until we begin to have a center that is confederation, the North remain united to always have the center as long as it's federation. That is it. If Nigeria continue to exist, I see more unity in the times of the northern part than other. I would have loved to see Atiku and Peter Obi combining again, for the PDP election, and I see them going places if that ticket is also confirmed by the PDP. But let's keep our fingers
Why,
crossed.
why,
Whoever
why about Saraki being the VP to Atiku
uh,
Abubakar?
Saraki cannot be VP to Abubakar because Saraki and Atiku comes from the north. It will not be so fair.
Saraki
You
is
know?
under the north.
Yeah,
I thought,
yes, Kwara is taken as part of the north.
Oh, okay.
Kwara is part of the north.
No, Kwara is
So
not north. Kwara is
it's not.
considered.
No, it's not. No, it's not considered west. It's not. Yes, we have Kwara State. Majority of them speaks Yoruba.
Yoruba. Okay, that's what I wanted to say.
Yes, they are taken as north.
Geographical.
Kwara is taken. Yes.
According to the
Kwara
regions
is part
of
of.
Nigeria.
Yes, Kwara is part of the north. So there's no way Atiku, who is from the northeast, is going to pick another. I think Kwara is taken as northeast as well. And so they cannot come in the same category. It has to go to another geopolitical region.
Okay.
Mm.
Should come to maybe the southwest. Southwest will be the Yoruba.
Southeast, yes, southwest the Yoruba area.
The
Southeast the
south.
Igbo. Then south is Niger Delta. Then the Niger Delta, including the rivers and Bayelsas.
Okay. So we are expecting either Atiku Abubakar or Saraki to be the candidate in this upcoming election, general elections in Nigeria?
Well, if both of them are coming for PDP, I see Atiku having more chance than Saraki.
Saraki.
Yes, I'm very optimistic about that.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think they will choose Atiku Abubakar over Saraki. Yeah. Saraki will make a good VP. For me, I think.
But because of the geopolitical spread,
Yeah.
there's no way Saraki can be VP. The only thing he can do is to continue with his Senate and maybe head for Senate president.
Hmm. So right now, what is going on in Edo State?
Well, the campaigning is still going on, just as I said earlier that campaigning issue based. Yesterday, just as I said, Odubu, the former Pius Odubu, the former governor, deputy governor of the state, campaigned in his area and was blaming Obaseki that the road which had been lying fallow in his area for, and he has been 8 years deputy governor, he could not construct it. He's blaming Obaseki that if he has been made NDDC chairman, he would have constructed that road. You see, when they bring on these lies, it is becoming very clearing. NDCC is a federal thing, it's by the president, of which he himself is also APC. He has been deputy governor for 8 years. He could not construct the road. He's now saying that if he was a NDDC chairman, he would have constructed the road. Who is he deceiving? I also make a remark about he coming to St. Augustine Catholic Church at Ukwege when the church complained about Ukwege Street as very bad. He promised them that within 2 months he's going to construct that road. Odubu never entered that area again. It was this Obaseki who came on a visit with one of the former head of service, I think the former head of service father, who was they were burying. The governor promised that he was going to construct that road, and the road is constructed by the governor, the present governor Obaseki. No tape was put to commission the road. The road, people are applying it. So you can see how they bring on their lies, which make people even click more to Obaseki.
Yeah.
It's so obvious. How can you not say if you were NDDC chairman, you have constructed the road and you have been deputy governor for 8 years, you could not construct people's road. Road has been there. The road has been there. You could not, even if your deputy governor is not active, you could not even beg Adams Oshomole while constructing road for Auchi to construct your own road. It is very so sad when you hear some statement from other statemen just because of politics. I am so happy because Edo people is now believing, seeing them with their lies.
Yes.
It is very open. I think Obaseki coming was just to expose most of these lies they have been telling Edo people, and it is very clear where the race is going. I am very optimistic in a free, fair, credible election. Obaseki is going to win this election convincingly.
Okay. With the history of APC candidates in Edo State right now, even though he wins the election, the law will still come and remove him from the seat. Definitely.
Apart from that, in a free, fair election, I don't see him taking Obaseki. Obaseki has proved himself in terms of development. He says what he will do. And that is one thing that people crave for him for. He tells you he's going to do. I just mentioned Ukwege. When Odubu was deputy governor of Edo State, he came to the church with someone for a Thanksgiving and promised that he was going to do that road in the next 2 months. which he did not. His tenure ended. Obaseki came recently, while during his first tenure, with a former head of service, father's burial, and the church complained. Within the next 2-3 months, the road was constructed. You can go to Uhege now and see the third road Obaseki gave them with water.
Yeah.
So when you see somebody in action, you cannot vote for people who are lying.
That's why
How can he go to his people and be telling? How can he go to his people and be telling them he would have constructed a road because when if he was made an NDDC chairman, when you were there for 8 years and you could not do anything? That is when you see their lies so real. Lies is supposed to be like hair, but they are like the lies they say sometimes is like touchable. It's like wood. You touch their lies. It's a pity.
We have laws in Nigeria. We have laws. We have a constitution. So whatever illegality they are practicing in the state, definitely the laws will come and hunt them in future. They are wasting their time. And most of their activities, especially Adamso Shomole, who believes in illegality, and these people are also following the footsteps of Adamso Shomole. At the end of the day, Adamso Shomole is a failure. He has already failed. Look at what is going on with him. Look at him. He was tagged as the national chairman of APC, and he's imposing his illegality on these people.
In all fairness to Oshomole, in all fairness to him, it's just of his recent attitude I do not like. When Anderson Oshomole was governor, he actually tried in terms of development, construction of roads. But it's just like what someone would say, power corrupt absolutely. Oshomole got power. He allowed power to get into him completely, and he became a monster. Oshomole was not like this. When Oshomole was governor, I remember that I walked and I saw him come in as governor. He did incredibly well. He came in a second time, he got the support of the people. For the first time in election in Edo State, he got 18 over 18, winning all the local governments. You understand? He allowed that power to enter him. The vices which he was fighting against, like Father, he fought Chief Tony and others to a standstill. We saw him, he said the money he would have given to them, he would use it to develop Edo. He actually developed Edo. But all of a sudden, the title of which you are killing, you want to assume that title. He allowed that monster to enter into him. That is where Oshomole became a monster. You understand? Oshomole is a good interpreter. Ezeyamu would have come after Oshomole or Dubu as governor. Oshomole silently left them aside because he knew they could not perform better. He knew that his economic advisor, who had been working for him for close to 7 years without pay, would bring him a better government. He fought stood still for Obaseki to come in there. The man has actually tried.
We should recognize him for that.
That evil that just went into Oshomole is what is now killing others Oshomole. That is what is now killing others Oshomole. He used to be a very lovable person by Edo people.
Yes.
Very simple. Anywhere you see, I can remember when I picked up my children in school, they just shouted him. He came to them, shake them, gave them money. That was Adas Oshomole for you then. You know, but the monster that just went into him now, that the vices he was killing, he wants to assume it. It's what people is now alarming. The people you have rejected as corrupt, you now want them to come to take over power. It's very alarming. That is the problem. So we just continue to pray for God deliverance on Oshomole. He is a good man. with all fairness to him, he's a good man. But that evil that has entered him, Edo people should continue to pray. I see people change. I see him regretting what this action he's doing after Obaseki has won. I see him. He's a very nice man.
What you just said now reminds me of a comment. Someone left a comment on my YouTube channel one day saying that, oh, those days, I remember those days when Adam Soshomole was loved by the Edo people. This is not the Osho Baba that we know before. I don't know what has happened to him. That comment. That comment was so special. I said, wow, yes. I remember those days when people used to be hailing him, calling him Osho Baba. He was being loved by the Edo people. I don't know what. According to what you just said now, Mr. Daniel, you are very right. You are very right. We can't wait to see Osho Mole to be that Osho Baba of those days that we all love in Edo States. We are waiting for that moment. And one day he will come back to his senses and apologize and be that lovely and the statement that he
It's
used to
another
be.
statement now.
That statement that he used to be in Edo State. That's the thing. Thank you, Mr. Daniel. It's awesome.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Thank you. So, guys, if today is your first time of visiting our channel, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. There are some comments here. Yeah. Oshoma, we know that, but at least there are also good side of him. There are some good side of him that we should also recognize. Sometimes we cannot only be highlighting the bad side of the social media. Okay, so that's all for today. Thank you guys for watching, Mr. Daniel. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So we'll come back if there is any news that worth reporting. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow. Peace to everyone. Bye.
Yeah.